Hey, what's going on, you guys? Back at you with a very special video. Now, one of my favorite people on the internet is Fat Joseph. So, he invented the light bulb, as far as I'm concerned. I can't think of a single thing that Fat Joe hasn't done. Matter of fact, Fat Joe robbed my entire family one time. It was crazy. Maybe I'll tell that story sometime. If you want me to tell that story, let me know. But let's dive into this. This is about him robbing his entire high school gym, which I don't doubt. Because like I said, he literally robbed my entire family on a road trip one time. We were like, oh shit, is that Terror Squad? Is that Fat Joe? Next thing I knew, like my dad was just unloading the SUV into Fat Joe's SUV. And then we were kind of just stoked to let him take all our stuff, to be honest. So like, damn, he used to rap with Big Pun. I think like Remy Ma was there too, dude. She was looking thick. But so anyways, let's jump into this. This is from Cam Capone News. So let's check out what the Dawn of all dawns is talking about.
Oh, that rap was what you wanted to do.
Oh, I loved hip hop since the beginning, since day one of hip hop. Now,
I'm glad he did, dude, because
I always rapped. 8 years old, 9, 10 years old. I always been battling in schools.
right, and he never
I took
lost ever.
the streets and the drug game more serious than rap. And so,
Well,
unfortunately,
you can't be Teflon Joe without taking the streets serious, so this is no surprise to me.
can't make no excuses, but
You gotta
I
make
want to get
sandwiches.
rich or die trying.
Damn, shout out to Fitty.
You know, I never liked being poor.
No.
And so I knew that I was willing to take whatever risks I had to take
Yeah.
to become successful. And so we targeted
He's
that
taking a
game
risk
and
with that beard.
became really, really good at that and really successful. And so a bunch of my friends started going to jail for the RICO. You know, that's when the RICO was invented. And so they took down John Gotti with the
Damn, they got Gotti, but of course they didn't get Joe. And you know damn well they didn't snitch on Joe. Nobody would have the balls to do that.
RICO. And so if they took down the Italian mafia, who was the smartest gangsters ever lived.
Besides Fat
You
Joe.
know, the Italian mafia, they have a son that's a lawyer, they have a son that's an accountant, then the other three are gangsters, and the father's the Don. Like the whole hierarchy is
he's basically
created
the
on
Fat
how
Joe.
we're gonna get away with crimes.
Right.
Right? And not
And they-
stereotyping this very hardworking Italians. I love you all. I'm just trying to tell you of a life of crime. And they was taking them down. So imagine Puerto Ricans and black guys that, you go walk in the store and you see a black or a Spanish dude that's in the streets, they on the phone going, yo, I need 10 of them things, trying to impress the whole store. Not knowing they're going to
Bro, I've been talking about that. People call me racist when I say that, but I've been asking. I'm like, hey, black guys, why are you always on the phone? Like who? I don't talk to my mother that much. I should, but then I notice like black guys are always on the phone, dude. When they're in public, it's like they don't. I'd be like, nah, I ain't been seen alone. Like what'd you guys do before we had unlimited minutes? You know, it's kind of crazy.
jail for 80 years for talking that shit on the phone. And so all my friends were going to jail. So Diamond D talked me into making music. I went to the Apollo Theater, amateur night at Apollo. So you talking about somebody that you used to look at, I don't know where you from, but you know, in the streets, I was a Don.
Right.
You know, to going into the mercy of the people where they could boo you and throw apples at you and throw you off the stage.
But here's the thing, Fat Joe, they would never do that to you, you know? You were so big in the streets at that point and you were physically that big too, that when you walked into the Apollo, everybody's like, damn, it's Joey Crack. We better not boo him. He might rob us all.
Talking about I want to rap. I'm trying to convince kingpin guys, yo, I'm gonna rap. They like, you out of your mind. Are you kidding me? You like, you got spots. You got everything you want. I'm like, nah, I'm trying to change my life.
Yeah.
And so thank God I changed my life. And
He's
when I
like,
did
they got
that, a bunch
Gotti.
of
They're
my
getting
friends,
close
they
to
still in
me.
jail. From that time, they're still in jail.
From the 80s. How old were you when you jumped off the porch?
I was 14.
6.
So I couldn't get along with my father. I love my father dearly, but he was like really, really strict. And we bumped heads a lot. You know, he was like,
His dad probably
he was
knew I
damn
better
near a
not fucks with
dictator
little
or a
Joey.
tyrant in my house. And you know, and I can't blame them. I had a great mother, great father. They're hard workers. My father never used drugs.
He just
My
had to
mother
get the
never
thugging
used
out of his
drugs.
blood.
I was the black sheep. I was the one who came out wanting to get the money. I was very aggressive. It's very equivalent to this movie called Extraction. You seen Extraction?
I have.
You ever seen the first one? You saw the first one? The little Indian kid that was willing to cut his finger off, that was chasing like I was like him.
Let's see. YouTube. Extraction trailer. Let's see if it shows little kid cutting his finger off.
Easy that way.
I doubt it will, and I don't want to watch this because I'm going to get a copyright strike.
Like I was determined to get the attention. You know, I was 14 hanging out with the biggest living legends in the Bronx and Harlem.
Right.
Struggling to pay off your debt? National Debt Relief is here to help you with debt consolidation, a solution that could...
Like I was 14,
Damn.
little kid, you know, the toughest in that age, but really going to dinner with the kingpins of all kingpins sitting there watching them. They all love Fat Joe.
Damn, they're like damn,
And
look
I
at
was
this
just learning.
14-year-old.
Like, I was like, yo, I want to be like them. I want to have the money. I want to have the girls.
The mafia was like, we got to consult with this 14-year-old right
I want to
now.
have the jury. I want to have the cars. I want to have the this. You know, and so, you know, thank God I changed my life towards music.
Yeah, for sure, man. What were
Right.
you like in high school?
Except he would have like ran the jail. If they would have got him when he was 14, obviously they would have put him in adult prison because he would have been too dangerous for children's prison. Then he would have went to adult prison, and then the warden would have been like, damn, this 14-year-old is too gangster. I think if we got him on our side, we could use 14-year-old Fat Joe to keep the prison population in check. So, you know, so then Fat Joe would have became the unofficial warden, just like the Don of the prison, you know? So it's good that didn't happen, but it did happen.
His bully.
Depending on who you
I
ask.
once robbed my whole gym.
Right. I was there.
The whole gym.
Like
70
Like,
kids
robbed 'em, robbed 'em?
without a gun. Like, yo, everybody give me your coats, give me your Walkmans, give me your this.
And here's the thing. I was one of those kids that got robbed, and we were stoked. We're like, oh, shit, this is an honor. The biggest Don of them all has taken my coat. Maybe he'll sew all our coats together and wear them himself. You know what I mean? We're like, damn, Joey Crack is running our coats and shoes right now? I am blessed. This actually happened. I can attest to
One of
this.
the kids I was actually cool with.
Yeah, I was
like,
one
yo,
of them.
Run it.
I used to do Fat Joe's homework for him. And then when he wanted my jacket too, I was like, oh my God, nobody's ever going to believe this.
Everybody run it.
He said it
I
just
couldn't
like
even
that
carry
too.
it. Some of the guys I robbed had to help me carry the stuff.
My friend Derek, straight up, I was like, well, you know, but he didn't want us carrying our own stuff because he thought we would steal it back. He made sure like, yo, you carry his shit, you carry his shit, you carry his shit. And then we just like followed him outside to his Benz that he had in high school when he was 15 that he got from the mafia because he was secretly running the mafia.
With him. Terrible. You know, and then they threw me out of that school, Morris High School. And
The crazy thing is he was never even enrolled in the school. He just kind of came by and just took stuff and ate the cafeteria food.
I made a deal with my mother that I was going to be a good guy. And I honored that. You know, when I went to South Bronx High School, I got into a problem the first day with some big dudes, and they was talking shit. I was talking shit.
They were huge, dude.
Because I always been Fat Joe.
Right.
You know, I can go to a new neighborhood and I'm me.
They already know, though, you know?
You know, I had a lot
Like-
of problems being me because I've
He didn't
always
have to
been
introduce
like
himself.
Fat Joe. You know,
Right.
you know Fat Joe now, so it's like, yo, we know Fat Joe. But think of a 14-year-old Spanish kid with blonde hair and green eyes going to a 95% black neighborhood with a
Saying the
leather
N-word.
bomber going, yo, what's up, Nick? What's good, y'all? Yo, what we doing here? What?
Yeah, it was crazy, dude.
Where's this
Those were crazy
alien
times.
from? Is he crazy? What is he? We have never seen one of these.
I can't remember a single day back in the day where we didn't speak about Fat Joe, you know? That's all we ever talked about, and that's all we were ever concerned about is like, who is this guy? Who's this guy that's just robbing us all the time? This 14-year-old Fat Joe. It was crazy times, bro.
You know, but I always been me. And so I go
Right.
to South Bronx High School after they throw me out of fucking being Saddam Hussein. In my other high school, I promised my moms I'm going to be a
Fat
nice
Joe
guy
had
first day.
weapons
nigga,
of
so
mass
I-
destruction.
So I make a phone call. I call Morris High School. I call the
called
lunchroom.
the
A
principal.
little girl picked up. And none of my guys was there. I was like, please. Because these guys was big. It was big. It was going to fuck me up. And so I was like,
He's just being humble when he says that.
I was like, yo, tell the guys, I got problems coming to South Bronx High School. So when I go outside, so we had a
Probably
girl
just-
from my block.
I swear everybody just dropped what they were doing right then and there. They're like, damn, we better go help out Joey Crack, 'cause if we don't, after he fucks up these guys, he's going to come fuck us up.
Her name was Yogi. Yolanda went to South Bronx. So she was telling the kids, like, yo, I don't think y'all know who y'all with. Like, you know, like I said, it wasn't social media. There was another side of the Bronx, another side of town. She was telling them, don't with them. I'm telling you. They're gonna come. Like you bugging out. And they were like, I
He
guess
probably
the
already
tough
had that
guys in the
beard.
neighborhood. So 3:00, they waiting for me outside. So I'm like, here we go again. I got bullied my whole junior high school. Then I become the bully. Now I'm getting bullied again. Right? So I walk outside, and when I walk outside, they ready to fuck me up. And we ready to fight. I'm gonna fight them. And I look across the street, the whole crew runs across the street, 100 terror squad guys. Bottles, all type of shit they had.
Damn,
I
it was like
stop.
Braveheart.
And I tell the guys, yo, I try to tell y'all I'm not the one. So now my guys from Morris, who just see me get kicked out of robbing 70 guys by myself, are like, and I was like, no, I told my moms I'm gonna change. I'm gonna give y'all a pass because I told my moms I'm gonna be a nice guy. But now y'all know you don't ever try to disrespect me. So then South Bronx High School.
How did nobody try to run out of the gym, you know? Like, robbing 70 guys is at least like a 2-hour job, you know? I would have found the fire escape or
It
something.
was sweet for me. You know, nobody ever fucked with me. I didn't have to do much. They had more girls in that school. You know, it was a good place.
Did you graduate?
No. But shout out to Luis Torres. He was my teacher. He was a great guy. Rest in peace, man. A real great guy who always
Fat Joe didn't need to graduate because he was getting all that mob money, you know?
told me to
Plus, he was just robbing all the teachers.
follow my dreams and my goals.
Damn. Fat Joe is something else, dude. Signing. If you need the cosign, I'm telling you, I was there when he robbed 70 people. Tupac would say that Fat Joe is, but let's keep
Had a
going.
problem and he called Fat Joe. I'm sorry,
Well-
it really happened.
Who else was Tupac Shakur gonna call other than Fat Joe? You know what I mean? And people saying that's cap. Think about it. Who else would Pac call besides Fat Joe? I can't believe anybody would ever think this man is lying.
So I did not tell his story. There's a girl that I promised never to say this story, right? But
What? He's cooking with a machete?
machete.
Huh?
And I'm making some food. I don't know why I don't know how to cook. So I got a machete.
Huh? What are you chopping up, dude? Are you chopping up that much food? Imagine being that fat. You have a fucking machete in the kitchen, dude. The meat's already dead, dude. You know damn well he's not chopping carrots and vegetables. He's just killing a pig again. Funerals. At other people's funerals, Fat Joe gets his respects. That's how it needs to be,
My
dude.
life. A guy was trying to rape me, this, that. Joey came out with the machete.
Even the dead guy popped back out of the coffin and was like, you know, Fat Joe orchestrated. He's like, I don't want to tell the story of. I don't want her husband to feel ashamed that he never got to save her with a machete.